cleanliness is mine. Okay, full disclosure. I came down a few minutes ago, tried to do the podcast, and I couldn't function. Reason being was I had a beard, okay? Not big, not small, like medium on the luscious scale of follicleness. And listen, it's at that point, like 6-7 days in, where you get that facial hair itch, okay, where it just lights up and all you want to do is just claw and scrape and just really tear it off with your own fingernails. It gets bad, dude. At that point, there's just no way to focus. You can't do a podcast for sure. Like, I can't think about an improv and do whatever. But listen, if you have an itchy beard, there's nothing on a productive level of work that you can do. You can accomplish. Think about the most important and productive people in our world, in our society. What do their faces look like? Clean. President of the United States. Clean. You can't govern a nation. Try and stop the nukes if you're going like this. What'd you say? Oh, yeah, don't do that. No, we're a lovely people, I swear. Do not hurt. What? Oh, okay. That doesn't work. All right? You have to have a clean face in order to get things done. That's a trustworthy and good person like myself now. And flip it on the other side. Think about the worst, the baddest of the baddest men on the planet. Bikers. What do they have? Facial hair. Because any man that can put up with this and keep his hands down by his side is a guy you don't want to mess with. You do not trust a guy with that kind of discipline because that's a strong boy right there. And so I don't have that kind of discipline. All right. I was like this. I was like, hey guys, welcome back to Circus. It wasn't working. But look at me now. Trustworthy and full of flair, I guess. Let's get into it. That's a little extra percussion for you. A lot of people don't get that. They don't. I burp. Don't worry about it. You can't smell it. And there's the intro, peeps. What is up? Welcome back to Full Circus. My name is Tristan Sartoris. Your name's I don't know. Hi, camera. And I'm happy to be here with you today. Okay? I said you, me, doesn't really matter. The point is, we're all enjoying the time that is this time right here. There goes the second. Here's another one. Enjoy those. Don't miss them, okay? Rewind if you have to. Guys, before I go anywhere, okay? I understand we're all packed up. We're in the car. We're ready to pull out of the driveway and go somewhere exciting. But before I do, let me put it back in park and say, kids, before we go anywhere, let me just address something. The past couple episodes, I don't feel like I've really been bringing my A game, okay? I don't feel like I've been on top of it. It's been like my B game, not quite C, B minus perhaps. And I don't feel like I be bringing it, all right? I don't feel like my humor chops have been top chef of comedy. So I've been really worried about it, man. And I get so caught up in my head thinking about this episode isn't flowing, it isn't right, it isn't. It's like I'm trying to create a new stand-up routine every single episode. Punchline, like it's written television. Did that paragraph go without a joke at the end? What am I doing? But I'm trying to remember that this is a podcast. There's a flow of conversation. I got to be in it. I got to bring it and just be present in the energy that is it. Okay? Seconds. Let them fly. Be in there. And I've been really worried about it, man. You get so caught up. I'm trying to remember that every word has its own fate, its own destiny. Even that word destiny has its own destiny, and that's destination was to be in that sentence. But I'm trying to just be here, dude. Just trying to be here. But I was really worried about those last two episodes. I'm like, gosh, I'm failing. I'm flopping. I'm not bringing it, dude. I don't know where it was. Okay, I think I left it at home. I should have been bringing it. Why did I leave it? But as fate would have it, those last two episodes have been received phenomenally above my expectations. Like, oh my gosh, this might be the best episode I've ever seen. I love it. It's professional. It's polished. It's great. It's clean. I'm like, what the freaking heck? Okay. So not only do I feel like I'm failing and also confused by the reactions, but I'm also realizing that my judgment sucks. Okay? Because I've been thinking, great episode, Tristan. You nailed it. They're like, hey, yeah, it was funny. It was great. I'm like, oh my gosh, I blew it. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh my gosh, that might have just been the greatest set of comedy I've ever seen. I'm like, what is happening, dude? So call that Tristan's misses. He's a mister, everybody misses. Broke a window. But yeah, I'm just realizing that I don't know what I'm doing. And I'm trying to lay it back because apparently it gets received well, but it's hard in those moments where I feel like I'm not doing well. in the present, you're like, it's not great, but it's received so great. And you got to remember that, it may or may not be received well, but recently it has been. So I should not be judging current me, okay? I should be judging future me and judging the people that are judging future me, okay? I'm casting judgment on you guys. So I'm just trying to dial it back and feel good, man. So let's get into the show. Actually, before we do that, sorry everybody in the backseat, we pulled back just a little bit, just dipped out the taillights out of the driveway. Before we go any further, okay, I just want to say one more thing. Right before I started this show, typically I like to do a cleanup, okay, a groom up. I'm feeling good and professional because you guys deserve that. You deserve my best. Like I said, I feel like I've been bringing it. And it's not that you don't. I just feel like I didn't have the time to do it. There's a lot of stuff going on. It's my brother's birthday. Not brothers, apostrophe, yes, brothers, plural, okay? Not even twins. I don't know how my parents orchestrated that one, but congrats, okay? That's compound interest of birthday festivities for you. But, yeah, I got stuff going on, so I didn't feel like I had time to do a full shower, all right? I opted for the sink, okay? The sink sponge bath cleanup real quick, okay? It's like the quick little pit stop. Done. So from here down, I'm filthy. But from here up, okay, I'm ready. I'm TV ready, all right? So I went to the bathroom sink, and it was too shallow, okay? So I went to the kitchen sink. And now, I don't typically bathe in the kitchen. I feel like that might be frowned upon. But luckily, no one was in there. So I did what any person would do, and I turned on the water, and I got ready to clean myself where we prepare our food. And I did not know that our kitchen water pressure is freaking awesome, okay? It's a bit too awesome. It's like a fire hose, okay? Because I dip my head under there just for a quick clean, wet the hair, get it done. As soon as I touched the water, I got slammed with it, dude. Like the firemen were trying to put out a fire with my face. It was like the CIA was waterboarding me. It's still in my nose, in my ears. I'm like, hey, why were you too lazy to take a real shower? That's not what I said. Hey, why do you feel like the podcast doesn't deserve your best? You feel like you're not putting the proper effort that you wanted to be putting into the show. So it was so intense. It was just a quick little shower, man. It was horrible. I don't know if I need to start bringing a lifeguard the next time I try to shower in the kitchen, but it was intense. And I'll also say I have a little bit of more appreciation for life. It's like you go through a death-defying circumstance and you go, you know what? We're going to be okay. This will help me calm down and relax. Like I was saying, you get so caught up in judging yourself, get waterboarded in the kitchen, okay? Almost drown in your own sink, and then talk to me, okay? You'll start putting the menial problems behind you because that was intense. That was real. So, yeah, that was my immediate what's going on. But let's get into it for real, right? We're going to Disneyland for real, okay? Let's start traveling down. First street I'm going to turn down is the conversation of doing stuff, all right? On the last episode I talked about I haven't done much. Not much has happened or stuff has happened, but nothing's gone wrong. So this week, I made a project out of causing some chaos, getting into some trouble. I've been up to no good, all right? And I didn't know where I was going to start with that, but right after the episode came out, I went to go throw the football with my brother, and I broke my pinky, okay? Congratulations! That's the first step in causing a story for your life. I honestly, as soon as it happened, I wish it didn't, but you know what? That's what we got. So if you saw the tape already, this wasn't some sort of fashion statement. You're like, oh, wow, what is this? Is he ready for Paris Fashion Week? The tape on the hand. Luxurious, kind of blue collar. Interesting. No, it's broken. It hurts. It's in a lot of pain, dude. And what had happened is we were throwing the football, and he threw a rocket. Okay, probably one of the most beautiful passes you've ever seen. It was like Super Bowl primetime slow motion. I'm watching it. I'm like 50 yards away. I wanted this pass so bad because the way it was spiraling through the clouds, it was glorious, okay? I've never wanted to catch a football more than this moment, and I see it. I'm hawking it down. And right before it comes, right before it fits right into my hands, I lost in the sun. The sun was right there. I had lined up perfectly. And I had started this action of closing the grip on what was to be the most beautiful catch of all time. Lost it in the sun. It goes further than I thought it was going to be. And I break my own pinky. I was I stabbed, I jumped, I was like, huh, huh, huh! And I watched the football just float away, and it turned black and blue, and it was horrible, and I didn't like it. I might be the first person to break their own finger trying to do something. Who breaks their finger trying to catch a football? Don't be afraid of the ball. Okay, I should be afraid of somebody, though, because apparently I'm out here breaking fingers. This isn't even the first finger I broke. I broke multiple fingers of friends and brothers. For some reason, I have a problem with phalanges. So anyways, broke this, and I have not been feeling too well about it, too. Like I said, it was black and blue, and before I had realized it was quite broken, I was like, maybe it's just sprained or what's going on. I didn't go to the doctor. I'm just assuming it's broken because I can't bend it, and it's discolored. So that's why the tape's up. And I just had it out of the way. You know, you try and just do stuff and just like, you know what, it'll recover. It'll be what it'll be. You don't realize how important your pinky finger is for a lot of the things you try and do. You grab, be a little productive, right? Whatever the pinky is. It's a fundamental little, you know? So I'm doing stuff, and it's inconvenient, but I'll tell you this much. You start moving the pinky out of the way, everything becomes fancy, right? I was working out, right? I'm bench pressing, heaviest weight, and it was so hard. But the pinkies are up, and I'm going, ah! It looks like it's easy for me because it's so fancy. Oh, my. And I got it up, and I got my new PRs. But, dude, there's something about having the pinky up. You grab the watch. Ooh, okay. Start trying to do your hair. Pinky's up. Dude, you just feel like a different prestige, a high class, man. Wiping your butt with a pinky out, okay? I know it's gross, but dude, you go like this, pinky's out. La la. What is this? Some sort of sass class. I don't know what it is. I feel like I might be French now. I might as well get a bidet. Having the pinky out changes your life, dude. Now, again, I don't wish it was broken, but I do like the feeling of putting them out of the way. Okay, I'm doing it with my right hand now. It feels good. It feels fancy. So I'm not recommending breaking your pinky, but I do recommend moving them out of the way and just see what that experience has for you, okay? Get a little fancy in your life. Get a little crazy. So, yeah, that was interesting, and that's a little bit of the ruckus I've been causing in life. And another one was I just went to the grocery store. Recently in our Ohio weather, it's just been terrible, okay? Storms, weather, raw wind and rain. Because that's what our spring looks like. It's like, well, if we're going to have any sunshine, we need to make sure we pummel you into oblivion. We all just kind of stay in our houses and go, okay, just wait until it's over. Wait until it's over. It usually never is over. It just keeps on going and going. So I went to the grocery store. It was a bad day. But as I'm driving back through the parking lot, storms, wind, whatever, I see a bag floating so delicately in the air. Oh my gosh, that's cool. I think nothing more of it. I keep driving. I look back at the bag and I think, could this be something? Maybe this is the thing that I'm going to be talking about on the podcast. Nope, I don't want to do it. I'm not going to go try and chase this bag down or whatever. But then I start driving, and then the stupid thought that pops into your head when you go, this is a good deed that you should do. Who's going to do it if not you? I go, shut up! Good brain, wherever you decide to come from. I keep driving. No one's going to tell me what I'm going to do. So I keep moving. It pops in. I realize this is going to happen. So I have to hawk this bag down. I'm crossing parking lot. No one's around, okay? Empty parking lot. Like I said, weather's terrible. No one wants to be outside. I'm driving, chasing a floating bag in the wind, thinking as soon as this drops, I will get it. Okay, that is my sign. It is my destiny. I'm driving through the rain. I don't want to get out and go do this thing, but my brain is telling me you have to. So whoever saw this was in a Honda Civic just driving, trying to chase down a plastic bag with nothing in it. So I'm hawking it down. Eventually, it slowly hits the ground. This is my chance. I floor it, try to get up on it, but the car shoves a new gust of wind. Bag floats up again. I'm cycling around this thing for minutes. I don't enjoy it. Finally, it lands, and I creep, floor real quick, and I drive over the bag. Precision driving, and I get it, okay? I had gotten the bag, and I was very thankful that this experience was over. Or was it, okay? Because I get this stupid little trash bag, whoever littered in the world. I had taken it into my car, and I'm driving back home. I see another bag. I think, oh my gosh, there's a second bag. Well, I already got one bag. What's stopping me from getting a second one? No, we're not getting a second bag, brain, okay? I don't care how good you think we are. We are not that, all right? God forbid. Thought doesn't leave. I chase it down the second bag. It lands into the bushes and the brush, so luckily I was able to track down a little easier. I get out and I grab the bag. I have it. And I look out into the landscape and I see just oceans of trash. And I'm holding this in my hand. And I realize something. I cannot put this into the car because as soon as I get this, I am now doing community service, okay? One bag's fine. When you go and get multiple articles of trash, you must have committed a felony. You're out here trying to do the greater good. There's so much trash. I realize that it's too overwhelming for me that I cannot do this anymore. So I do what I'm not proud of. I throw the trash back into the woods, okay? I realize something about myself. I'm a one-bag guy. That's the kind of good deedishness that I have to put out into the world. I got one bag in me. So I'm not going to say don't go out and help at all. Go do your bag. Everybody do either one bag. But I'm not going to act like you got to do multiple pieces because I realize just how troublesome and inconvenient that is for everybody. So, yeah, I left all the trash there. I couldn't partake. It was too much. If I was going to get this bag, I was going to get all the bags, all right? If I was going to bring this second piece into my car, I was going to spend the foreseeable weeks, months, perhaps years of my life cleaning up this dumpster of a parking lot. And that's not who I can't be that guy. I want to be a good person, but I'm contributing a little bit, okay? How many bags have you hawked down in the rain, sir? That's right. So I did something. That's enough for me. So I don't know, maybe in my life later I'd like to try and achieve the 2-bag limit, but for right now, that's a lot, okay? 2 bags. Like what am I, an Avenger? Come on. So yeah, that was an experience for sure. Luckily, again, nobody was around, so I didn't run over anybody, and it was cool. So going from there, I had received a message from a family friend. He said he had some yard work ready, like buckets of gravel, gardens, patio, whatever. He has some stuff, jobs. He says, hey, are you willing to help me out? My first response is, no, I don't want to. Why would I go spend time with a freaking no? Of course not. But then I remember I'm trying to cause some stories, okay? I'm trying to cause a ruckus. I'm trying to create problems for myself. Now, this was before I had broken my pinky, and this was also before I had worked out for the first time in a while, so I am so sore. And, dude, I did the one freaking thing that I've done multiple times. You can watch every episode of this podcast that my neck has gotten like this, where I cracked down on my form, and I don't know if it was the fact of the pinkies where I just kind of fell apart. I drove my head in, started recruiting the neck muscles to lift the weight, and it strained. So now I'm like this. I got a broken pinky of all inconvenience. I'm like, you know what? It sucks, but at least I can take some time to heal. And then I remember, I gotta get up and go buckets of gravel in the morning. Frickin' frick. I thought about calling it off, but you know what? No. I am disciplined in this moment to make sure my life sucks this week, okay? So I show up, I go there bright and early, broken pinky, head like this, not feeling okay at all, but I go and immediately the gravel isn't there, okay? He said the gravel would be there at 9:30. Gravel's running late. He's like, don't worry, we can find some other stuff to do. So I'm shoveling patio, freaking dirt and gardens and too many feet of dirt. It was bad. I was not enjoying it at all, especially with the pinky. And I had this thing where I've just been trained by my dad to just go 1,000% in everything I do, not really thinking about pacing myself for the rest of this project. So I start going at 5 minutes, and he's like, hey, slow down. Don't kill yourself. I'm like, don't worry. I got this. 7 minutes in, okay? That's 2 minutes later. In my head, I'm playing this song, and my strength is fading fast. That is not the song that should be entering my brain, but I'm realizing I'm hitting a fatigue point. I was going to be here for hours through the rest of the day, and that is not where I want to be, but I still couldn't stop. I'm still shuffling, chucking. I'm burnt, okay? I'm sweating. I'm good 15 minutes in. I'm cooked, okay? That's all I got in me. All right, head, let's go, get this. I finished the freaking digging. He says, we're going to get this bush. This bush is as deep-rooted as my insecurities and having a bad show, okay? So I did what I had to do, and I grabbed the pickaxe, and I'm hacking, and that's where this tape comes from. I rip in my hands, it starts bleeding. My pinky is swelling up on fire. At least I got the pinky out, so I'm going, you know, and it's not working. I'm breaking, I'm chopping, I'm screaming, I'm sweating, I'm not feeling good, but I'm still giving it my all because I want my life to be garbage. So garbage that I would go track it down in a freaking parking lot somewhere. So, anyways, That had like the kind of the cadence and the tone, the musicality of a sermon. And then the Lord said he would pick at it, and he would pick at the head, and then eventually he'd get it, and he'd feel like his body was breaking down. But the Lord would keep him up. Can I get an amen and a hallelujah? And he's still not getting it, but you gotta believe in the Lord. Can I get a believe in the Lord from y'all? We believe. So I'm hacking at this thing. I don't get it. Okay, full disclosure, it doesn't work. I'm just breaking more bones at this point. And I eventually just kind of tap out. I'm like, I gotta get some water. I gotta breathe. He has some snacks ready at hand, so I'm trying to carve up. I'm sweating. I'm dying, dude. I feel like I'm really dying. Like I said, strength's fading fast. It had been like 2 hours at this point. I'm full going it. I don't know what's wrong with me that I can't slow down when people are literally saying, slow down, take a break. What are you doing? You're not an Avenger. Maybe if you were a too-bad kind of guy, you could handle this job, but no. So I take his advice. I sit down. I eat some breakfast bars. I'm carving up. I'm watered up. I get back out there. Kish, 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 kish. After way too long, we get the bush out. Finally, I'm like, I'm ready to go home. Then I remember the reason I came here in the first place was to shovel and bucket 5 tons of gravel, okay? Now again, I can't slow down, so I'm huffing it up and down the hill, buckets and barrels of gravel, dude. So I basically died at that point. I was not feeling great at all. And I wanted to slow down, but again, like I've been trained not to. Just working with my dad, everything's fast paced. And also, again, I wanted my life to suck. And this is what had happened, and it made, I think, for a good story. Don't you go, oh my gosh, did he survive? Spoiler alert, I did, but barely. I drove home, dude, when it was time to go. I was like, ugh, like this, freaking pinky up on the wheel. It's still bent up. It's like, whoa, hey, you know. It's like the people were going to crash into people. People looking at me like, dude, is he so freaking fancy? But he's like sick, but I don't know. So anyways, I made it home and it was horrible. And I'm realizing that, you know, a lot of pain and stuff, it makes for a good story, but I kind of just missed the boring episode because people liked it in the first place. So I don't know how to feel, man. I'm falling apart, neck's cranked up. Something happened where I was eating a Pop-Tart. And I'd opened my jaw too far, and it like clicked and snapped. So now it hurts when I both open and close my mouth. I don't know what that is. Pinky's hurting, neck's feeling a little bit better, jaw is broken, sore across my body. My whole knee has been scraped up and was bloody. I feel like I'm just breaking down like an old car, you know, like a big old fraction. People break me down, dude. But you know what? God forbid all those pains. Hopefully making a good story. I don't know. Because now to the point where I start going, this is a good episode. I am losing it, man. I'm losing the battle. That's not what people want. People are like, hey, we like the thing where you just didn't have anything to talk about. That was interesting. This whole good story, good content, good stuff for you to talk about, forget about it. So I'm worried that it was a waste of time. But you know what? It was fine. It was good nonetheless, man. And what else had happened? Oh, yeah, we had Easter. The last episode was an Easter thing, and Easter was great. Went to church, went to go have a big family dinner. You know, there's nothing much more I can talk about. It was a family dinner. We ate. We swallowed. It was it. Yeah, nothing much happened there. I will say this, though. I went to go take out the trash because everyone's the trash piled up, and I took the trash out into the garbage, and I walked back in. No one said a thing, okay? So I'm looking at, like, I know everybody saw me carrying the buckets, like I'm the trash Santa, and I come back in, people are still eating, enjoying their conversations, desserts. I'm like, oh, hey, I just did everybody a favor, okay? Now, I don't believe in thankless jobs, okay? That's just not who I am. You do a job, you deserve a thank you. That's what I believe. So all you people that feel like you're doing good work, thank you. Okay? That's the reason I told you about me picking up trash in the parking lot in the first place. Because if I went and did it and no one knew, a good deed matters nothing to me. I don't care. If someone does a good job and a good deed in a forest and no one's around there to thank them, did it even happen? I don't think so. Did I save the world with my one bag? Probably not. But I need to make sure that you know about it. That's who I am. There are no thankless jobs. I will make sure you know that I had done it. So I walk back in. No one says anything. I say, hey, bags out in the trash. Nothing, not a thing. Bags out. I start intruding on the people. And they go, oh, thank you. Finally, I get a high five and everything's all right. But it's just who I am, dude. I need someone to know that I've done it. This just doing the deed matters not. I don't care. It's the same reason, like, we're talking about doing work and like good jobs with my brother. He was talking about cabinets and like remodeling a kitchen, whatever. And he's like, you don't feel like pride and the sense of accomplishment and just doing a good job and making sure this is a kitchen, knowing that you just built that? And I was like, can I tell people about it? He's like, no, just like doing it for yourself. I was like, then no, why do I care? If I don't get to brag and tell people that I did this, I don't care. I don't care to do a good job if I can't have other people tell me good job. I don't need to hear me say it. I already think I'm awesome. I wouldn't have gone and done this thing in the first place. I would just done my own thing and say, good job, Tristan. You're good at this. I'm not going to go do someone else's trash and not get a good thank you, okay? So, yeah, when I'm out in the forest and I do a good deed, you better believe I require a crowd. So, yeah, that's what I've been up to, dude. You got to make sure you get your props. What's the point? I don't know if it's still a good deed, I guess, if you're only doing it for praise. But you know what? Who does good deeds without the praise? What am I, the Lord? Okay? He has a holiday. I don't have a holiday. If I get an Easter and a Christmas, I get multiple holidays, then maybe I'll start picking up a trash bag and not telling you on the podcast. But as of now, I will tell you every good thing that I've done in my life. So, anyways, yeah, that's what I've been up to. What are we at right now? Okay, we got a little bit more time before these brothers show up. So, before we go anywhere else, we're not going anywhere else. We're stopping on this street. We're going to run it back home. Okay, we don't have enough time to make it to Disneyland, guys. Whoever thought we were going to go on a huge road trip, ride the rides, you're out of your mind. We were going to take one lap, hope that you guys get bored of how hot the car was because there's no AC, and we're going to go back home, and we're just going to watch the Disney Channel. So, let's get into it, okay? Bang! Skip the details and the plots, and these are some of my interesting thoughts. Isn't that neat? Eventually, I'll get some animations, but for right now, just settle for interesting thoughts. And I love the theme. Like I said before, I played that years back on the podcast. My cousin made it when he heard my skip the details, and eventually, we're making something, okay? We're evolving. But without further ado, let's get interesting. I was just driving, okay, and I was driving in my four-wheel car, not hawking down any more bags, but I was driving and thinking, I might want a motorcycle. You know, 2 less wheels, a little dangerous, a little interesting. It's frisky. I want to be out on the open highway feeling the wind through my hair, but not in my beard, because if you have a beard, you go, you know, you can't think about interesting things with a beard. You think, get it off. So anyways, I'm driving, thinking about getting a motorcycle. And as I'm doing that, 2 cars whiz past me, okay? Not just 2 normal cars, 2 Teslas, 2 automated self-driving cars. And I realize that as we slowly evolve and go towards self-driving vehicles, what happens to the motorcycle, right? This is supposed to be the epitome of freedom, and I'm out on my own solo riding. I'm out here. I'm on a motorcycle, okay? People see that guy and go, holy crap, he doesn't have any windows. He only has 2 wheels. You know, that's a motorcycle. That's what we all think. But if everything becomes self-driving and the motorcycle does too, yeah, is a motorcycle still interesting? Because you're riding, it's like, do I really feel free? I'm just kind of going. I'm just sitting here. It's like riding on the back of a motorcycle. Or it's worse than that. It's like riding on the sidecar of a motorcycle. Take me where I need to go, you know? So I was just thinking about getting one, and I don't know if I would because it immediately gets shut down. Like, dude, I can't feel free like this. So I kind of got dissuaded from even thinking about it even further. But then, dude, you think about bikers? What happens to a biker bar? Okay, they all have their hogs, and it doesn't rev up like a big, strong, hufty, muscly engine. You know, you just, you know, and they've all got their freaking beards because they're so tough and disciplined. They go, all right, let's ride the motorcycle. Hey, now driving Harley Davidson. You know, like how can he feel tough in a scene like that? He's supposed to feel like a big old gruffy. I feel like I'm making up words. He's supposed to feel like the guy who's just so tough and bearded out, and he wants to feel free and amazing, but he's driving just a robot. It's just an electric scooter at this point. So I don't know. Maybe we need to make a petition just for these people specifically to keep on driving their freedom machines, but I just don't know if I can feel like getting one, because if it all becomes automated, then what are you doing, you know? You can't be tough while riding a Roomba. That's just the nature of it, okay? But if you put gas into a Roomba, immediately we go, hot dog. That's a tough man right there. So, anyways, there wasn't much more to that. That's just what I was thinking about, and I really wanted to play the theme. So, anyways, guys, I think that's all. I wanted to talk about here today. Thank you for tuning in with me once more. I don't know how to feel about the podcast because I kind of feel good about that, which makes me feel bad about it. But if I feel bad about it, then I start to feel good about it because I know the other people are going to be feeling good about it. So I don't really know where to feel, but I'm just going to feel. Okay, let's be present and feel what let's just feel our feelings, guys. Let's feel our feelings. So yeah, I mean, I do have more to talk about, I guess, but I'm realizing that the time is ticking and my brothers will be up there and they'll be like, hey. No, they won't say that. They'll be like, why is all the cake here? He hasn't gotten up here yet? I want all the cake. So, guys, I got to close it out because I want the cake. And, don't break your pinky. Don't get a neck crank. Don't try and go out and make a sucky life for yourself just so you can talk about something that people might even care about. Just live your life, and if it's boring, it's boring. Let it happen. Do plain Jane, neat and clean for Eugene. That's what it be. And can I get an amen? All right, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Over.